Let's just start with college football.
College football. And, man, that was a great game, Indiana and Ohio State.
That was a classic. You had number 1 versus number 2 in every category. 1 and 2 in the ratings, 1 and 2 quarterbacks, 1 and 2 defenses, 1 and 2 in the Heisman Trophy race. By the way, I had to file my Heisman Trophy ballot, filled it in last night. It was a tough, tough call. Let's talk about what Indiana accomplished. I knew they were tough. They out-toughed Ohio State.
They did.
Indiana, 5 quarterback sacks, interception, 9 tackles for losses. They stopped the Buckeyes at the 4 and at the 9. Ohio State was 5 for 14 on third down conversions and missed a chip shot field goal at the end of the game. Fernando Mendoza, they beat him up in the pocket. They chased him out in the flat. He just kept making passes. He threw for 222 and a touchdown. The rollouts really beat Ohio State in the second half. Ohio State got forced into single-man coverage, and they could not stop a couple of the big receivers who were running distinct routes and kept getting them first down after first down. I was so impressed with Julian Sayin because they came after him, and there was so much traffic around him. He threw an interception early into triple coverage where he panicked, settled down after that, but they were chasing him sideline to sideline in rollouts, and yet he wound up throwing for 258. The pressure was unbelievable. It was amazing. I'm a big historian. Do you realize 1945 was a long time ago?
Yeah.
My dad, your dad were in the service in 1945 in the war. 1945 is the last time Indiana won a Big Ten race outright. Think about how many years ago that was.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And 1988 was the last time they beat Ohio State. 30 straight losses to the Buckeyes, and the Hoosiers won it.
That's a long time coming.
Oh, yeah. Just absolutely spectacular. And I just have the feeling these dudes might be on a collision course to meet again once we get to the playoffs. And that's another topic that we're going to talk about. Let's just briefly talk more than just that. Let's talk about Georgia. Georgia dismantled Alabama. Alabama's offense for a month has been leaking oil, and Georgia just stomped them. Alabama's -3 yards rushing. Now, they did not have their top back, Jazz Miller. He was out with an injury. But the quarterback, the defense has kind of caught up to him. Great win by Georgia. Tide had 156 yards in total offense in the game.
Wow.
So that's in the SEC championship game. Texas Tech beat BYU again, just blew their brains out for a second time this season. You know, when I used to think Big 12, you get a bad flashback. Big 12 Oklahoma, Big 12 Texas, Big 12 Nebraska, back in the day. Title game in the Big 12 was Texas Tech bombing Brigham Young for the second time in a row.
Times have changed.
Yeah, times have changed. Oregon, how about them Ducks? Ducks were not in a playoff game on the weekend. Ducks are going to get a home game at Autzen Stadium to start the playoffs. They are dazzling, especially the way they play at Autzen Stadium. Miami, big win to start the season. Hurricanes, obviously, struggled midseason, finished upbeat. They get to the playoffs too. Ole Miss, coaching change does not matter. They didn't dip at all. Coaching staff stays intact aside from Lane Kiffin, who takes his sleazy suits and goes to LSU. Tulane, who? Green Wave, really good coach. He's already gone to Florida. Tulane wins the AAC, not the ACC, the AAC. By the way, the ACC did not get a team in the playoffs because 5-loss Duke upset Virginia, which was a stunner. And James Madison University, Bob Chesney announced today as the head coach at UCLA, but he's going to be allowed to coach the Dukes in the Sun Belt Conference. They qualified because they were the group of 5. You know where they have to go? JMU goes to Autzen Stadium to play the Ducks.
Oh.
Can you say 69-3?
Welcome to Oregon.
Yeah. So those are all things college football. You OD'd on it. You must have gotten your senses back. Go ahead. You want to comment on what you saw Indiana and all those other storylines?
I do. Yeah. I mean, there were the games, and then there are the implications for the playoff.
Yes.
Are we going to talk about the playoff brackets
Next.
later? Next. Okay. So as far as the games go, I am ecstatic when I saw both Ohio State and Alabama lose. I mean, those two great programs, obviously, but I just love all the new blood. I love all this. And the whole Indiana storyline is fantastic. Signetti is a great coach. I love hearing his rhetoric when he's on the podium. He's always got something clever to say. I'm a little tired of Fernando Mendoza's speech post game. He kind of gets a little bit,
way too much religion.
Yeah. And just as an aside, I just wish players would, they need to be, how should I say, be proud of their accomplishment, and the work they put in. But sometimes they make it religious, and I have a little trouble with that.
I mean, all his speeches post game, praise Jesus right out of the gate, and it goes on and on. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, the other games, Georgia looked dominant. Texas Tech looked dominant, but in a kind of a unique way. Ole Miss. You were talking about Lane Kiffin in his slick suits, it just remind me of Leisure Suit Larry, which was like an old video game from the 80s.
Al Davis type white jumpsuit.
Exactly. But anyways, I think all of these games were fantastic. And I think the whole idea of Duke, having this crazy run to win the championship of the ACC. Even that's special because Duke is like Indiana. Duke's a basketball school. You don't think of them as a football school, and then you wonder why in the heck Belichick wasn't there and what happened to the ACC and everything else. So it was a fun weekend, and it was good to see a lot of these games in neutral site locations. I mean, it just brought a lot of excitement, but in some of these cases though, for example, Oregon, they didn't play this weekend. Do you think they're going to have an advantage going into the brackets?
Well, they get everybody healthy. So, yeah. Plus, they're playing a 1AA school, a.k.a. James Madison. That's going to be terrible.
1AA.
But it should be.
Well, you think it's like a Mountain West school or something?
I don't even know if it's a Mountain West school. But anyhow, they're there. And, you're the one that won 100 teams in the playoffs, so we're going to get a 69-3 game. Okay, fans forum chat box is open. How about Indiana, what they did to Ohio State? We go